Don't mind me. It's hot as shit. But I guess it should be what we're about to discuss. So, for the longest, they've been trying to scare people with this Jim Crow thing. Every time they bring it up, people start getting shook. But there's a couple critical things people don't understand. Why was that name used? Who is Jim Crow? And what is it going to lead you back to? This is a red pill video. Critical thinkers only. So, let's do this the right way. Make sure you guys can see. Lower me down. All right. So, Jim Crow is considered to be the first minstrel character created by Thomas Dartmouth Daddy Rice in 1828. Rice was an unemployed actor who said he came upon a black man singing the song Jump Jim Crow and imitated that man's mannerisms to construct what became known as the iconic Jim Crow. So, Jim Crow is not a white man. Technically, Jim Crow is a black man who inspired a white man to create a character. But this character is based off of a real person. So, the whole point of Jim Crow laws, people say, are the rudest, roughest times for black people. Actually, we can break down exactly what it meant. Law forbade African Americans from living in white neighborhoods. Segregation was enforced for public pools, phone booths, hospitals, asylums, jails, and residential homes for the elderly and handicapped. Some states required separate textbooks for black and white students. So, everybody talks about Jim Crow and how evil and racist white people were. But why? See, what we're about to do is connect the deep state or the swamp, the Democratic Party, the Ku Klux Klan, and Hollywood. Why? How can we connect all of these? Because let's go right back. Jim Crow is considered to be the first minstrel character created by Thomas Dartmouth Daddy Rice in 1828. Rice was an unemployed actor who said he came upon a black man singing the song Jump Jim Crow and imitated that man's mannerisms to construct what became known as the iconic Jim Crow. So Jim Crow is a song that a black man was singing. But it was the black man's mannerisms that create the character Jim Crow. That's why you see him, with the weird little stance started. Why was that implemented into the law? Always remember, minstrel show starts in the South. Actually, I only think the minstrel show was in the South. Kind of like Jim Crow. So, the whole point of Jim Crow is segregation. Blacks can't be in the same area as whites. They can't be in the same pool. They can't read the same books, all them types of stuff. Why? If blacks were, if these Negroes were such thugs and criminals in the day of the Klan, why would they even, take a chance? Why would they do that? Like, yo, these niggas is crazy. Like, you don't see the Klan doing it today. They don't come around blacks at all because they know these niggas is lost. They crazy. So if blacks are this image that they say that we are, dirty, untrustworthy, we're rapists, we're murderers, we're all the stuff that they were saying during Jim Crow. Why would they have to make up a character? The boule turned y'all into thugs, pimps, and ghetto ignorant people. That was the boule who did it. The college kids, they outsmarted you. See? They're the ones in cahoots with these small hats making these deals. So meanwhile, you might not see black people running the team. They might not be the coach. Oh, they had a lot to do with how they got the mules, aka the slaves, on that damn team. They have a lot to do with it. Who's the one saying that you ain't got no skills, you ain't going nowhere? Oh, you ain't good. Oh, see, if you was like me, I would have did like this. That's all those elites. See, the one who hands you the gun and makes you shoot him for him is them. That's how they work. They make you kill yourself. That's why you got more thugs and hookers than than lawyers and astronauts and professors. That's why. Even though you had plenty of those of the past, and I can prove it. Jim Crow is code language for the spell that we're going to put these black people's image under. I told you, Jim Crow is not a real person. Why would they name a law after a minstrel show character? Why would they do that? It's not real, or is it? First point of the Ku Klux Klan is pranks and tricks. They weren't burning crops and doing stuff like that. They were putting on hoods, scaring superstitious ex-slaves. They knew exactly what they were doing. Well, those same people created a character and then placed you in it as this character and then woven laws behind it. Same thing with the adjective black. See, when they first picked you up, they didn't call you that. Hell, there's English white people with the last name black, so they wouldn't have called you that. But once you got integrated, they had to make you black. You only get integrated in the 50s. Say It Loud and Black and the Proud comes right in the 60s. The whole Civil Rights March movement starts in 54. So you got 6 years until we're in the 60s. You telling me this wasn't by design? You telling me it wasn't by design to make you an imaginary character and then base laws behind it, just like they did with the thug, and then now they got gangbang task force and RICO laws for drug dealing, even though that started with the mob, but now they even do it with the drug dealers. Who is Jim Crow? Jim Crow is created by the wicked racists of the South. And what it was an image that they were going to place us in. Of course, those black people back in the day weren't rude, they weren't mean, they weren't doing anything wrong. But it doesn't matter. Once I create this image of you, that is what you are. Clutching their purse, locking their door. Where do you think they get that from? If blacks were victimized, they were victims. What are you afraid of them for? The reason that the Democrats love to use that term is because they created it. It's a fear mechanism. It's something to keep you in check, even though it's not real at all. And it's even based on a character that's not real. But they turned it into real law, scared the shit out of everybody. could do me a favor, melanated beings, before you die, if you could truthfully, spiritually die first, spiritually die, and then resurrect to your true mind that is alive, and see, we've already won this battle. You just got to wake up out of your sleep.